Alright, so we've got a really interesting one here. This is a American Flyer Polar Express train set by Lionel. I picked this up on Amazon, mostly for the track, because it really wasn't that much more expensive to just get the set than the track. So, the curious thing about this was sold as part of their Amazon warehouse open box, and this was half the price of the quote-unquote new set. That flap is open, there's a tear here, but like the rest of this, thanks to you, this product has a second life. So I'm really interested to see what is actually in here. It is taped there, so actually let me get something to open that with. Alright, so as we're getting into this, I will tell you, so the new one on Amazon is $500 and this was $250. So this was half price. Now mainly I want that fast track for the layout that I am building. A loop of R20 fast track with 3 straights and a terminal piece by itself is worth about $100. So it was a $150 risk on the rest of the set that if nothing else I can throw on the wall for display. I am just really curious as to whether this was a return or whether this was something that was damaged at the warehouse. Okay, so looking at the engine, I'm going to assume it's been used because there's no wrap on it, but I don't see anything broken. I don't really see any like physical damage or cracks on it or anything. On the tender, same thing. I don't really see any damage at the cursory view. It does have extra traction tires with it, which is good. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it was open. Now, it is entirely possible that somebody bought this for Christmas, ran it, returned it, and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know. We're just going to have to set it up and see what it does. 2 of the coaches, well, they kind of tried to put the wrap back on. They didn't do a great job of it, so it does have instructions. Berkshire Flyer Chief Ready to Run Owner's Manual. And then we have our track, 4, 8, 12. So we have the circle. This comes with a 18 volt DC power brick. I'm not going to use that. We will use the ZW that I will be running the layout with. So we're going to test it in, because it's entirely possible there's something wrong with that or there's something wrong with the DC inversion. This will run on AC or DC, so we're going to run it that way. So we have that's going to suck. That's going to suck. I mean, I can just like cut that end off and connect it to the ZW, but that's going to suck. I guess we'll test it as is, and then we'll do surgery after. So let's get the track set up. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so I have it set up, and I spent some time playing around with it, and I think I have figured out what the story is. So the majority of people that purchase a set like this aren't trained people. And there are a lot of reviews on Amazon for this being overpriced or great for a season. And a lot of times people will buy it for Christmas and they'll set it up, and instead of putting it in the attic and using it next year, they just return it. And I have a feeling that that is probably mostly what happened. On a side note, I do not get any life out of the Flyer Chief remote, which is fine because I'm not using that anyway. This is Bluetooth compatible, so I'm running it off my phone, which I prefer anyway. I much prefer the Lion Chief app over their remote. Also, when I first set it up, there was no chuff sound, and the smoke unit, you could clearly hear the smoke unit, and you could hear the smoke unit cycling on and off. But there's switches underneath. You can actually turn the chuff off on this. There's actually some pretty decently high-end features on this. I don't think they call it scale, but this is definitely not the toy version. Like the O-Gauge version that's in the set is more of the toy style, and then they had the scale one that's almost impossible to find. But I definitely would consider this more towards the scale side. So now that I've got it dialed in, and it runs a lot better. I still don't really care for the barrel jack, but like I said, that's easily fixed. So when you plug it in, that means you're not connected. So you connect to it. That is an all-the-time thing. So you have your whistle. There's no legacy, so you can't quill it. You have bell.
All aboard! This is the Polar Express. Well, you coming? Well, you coming?
Unfortunately,
Well, you coming?
that's all you get. Smoke unit is starting to warm up there. See if I can try to get you where you can see it. It does take the smoke unit a bit to warm up. So we start the slow rollout. And the one thing I don't like is that there's no way to shut it down. That's kind of where Legacy takes the advantage over this level. But it is really nice to have the synchronized smoke unit on here for something that's really in this price range. So I'm really happy with that. The detail on the locomotive is really nice. This is hands down the nicest in a ready-to-run set that I think I've ever seen from them. So I'm overall super impressed with it. It's got a lot more power than I thought it would. Like, it gets frighteningly fast at full throttle here, as you could see. That wasn't, I think, even, that wasn't even all the way up, so. But I am really happy with it. Let me go ahead and shut that off. So yeah, I'm super happy with it, especially for $250. Would I pay $500 for it? No. But like I said, that's 12 pieces of curve, 4 pieces of straight. That runs right about $100 worth of track. So, like I said, if nothing else, it'll look great on display. This looks like it's going to be a really nice, really fun runner too. The kids will love it. So like I said, having it on display is one of the cool things about having it. So I'm going to kind of need to make a list of the add-on cars that were made for it. And that way I can A, keep an eye out for deals on them, and also make sure not to buy doubles. So it came with 3. I ought to be able to get at least 2 more, fill up the top shelf. So like I say, I'm a sucker for passenger sets, as you can see down at the bottom. And yes, that is the 314 AW. I don't think there's nothing on this wall that is not like a once in a lifetime piece. Because the 314 AW is the one where they copied Lionel's whistle. The 336 is a beast. The 307 is the first engine I bought for myself. The 302 is the one that Dad got for Christmas in 49 or 51. And the 282 came out of the basement of a local gentleman who I believe is long gone, that I would absolutely love to be able to walk through that basement as an adult and compare it to how I remember it as a kid. Because the way that I remember was like, take this case except floor to ceiling in like every room. It was just an absolute wonderland down there. But yeah, the 90s are a long, long time ago. We can just try to create new memories.